Canadian healthcare system is losing its mind. If you're sad or having a bad day, they will let you take a permanent dirt nap. I did a report a few weeks ago about how Canada will allow drug users to take drugs in approved locations. They're trying to prevent overdoses. Well, it doesn't prevent overdose, but it does have a medical staff on hand to help revive you, so in fact it causes more overdoses, according to the early results of this program. If you want to learn more, click on the link above and you can watch that video. But that bad medical policy has now been overshadowed by an even worse policy. According to many, including me, yes, I think this new policy is a complete disaster just waiting to happen. In the very near future, Canadians will be able to seek assisted suicide for mental health conditions. But let's go back a bit and talk about the history of this practice in Canada. It's not new. They first legalized assisted suicide way back in 2016. The policy was for a person that had a condition severe enough that death was imminent. You needed approval from 2 doctors, and the waiting period was 10 days. But that could be waived for serious conditions. Imagine being so sick that you knew you were going to expire soon, and you were tortured by constant pain, and you couldn't take care of yourself. I can only imagine how frustrating and embarrassing that can be. If you can't take care of your own bodily functions, and you were 100% positive the pain was going to get worse, and there was no coming back. I mean, I'm not heartless. That's a horrible situation. And being offered a method to help you end that pain, that's something that many people would seriously consider. I don't blame them at all. It first started with severe cancer patients who had exhausted all other resources. The first year that euthanasia was no longer considered murder, there were 1,018 patients, victims. I don't even know what to call them respectfully. Maybe they were just people out of options and scared. But last year, over 10,000 people used this process. That's a 500% increase. And this is escalating. In 2021, they changed the rules to allow this procedure for anyone who had a physical condition deemed intolerable. It's a little shift in language to make it applicable for more people. It was designed for people with a debilitating disease like Parkinson's or something similar. The new bill C7 will allow assisted suicide for a person with a mental condition deemed intolerable. Plus, they gave it a catchy new name. Maid stands for Medical Assistance in Dying. Euthanasia is legal in several European countries, but this law will be the most lax in the world, according to some Canadian doctors. They're worried that if someone's suffering from a temporary depression issue and when they seek help, one of the treatments recommended may be Maid. What's also worrying is that there are many more people going through gender dysphoria right now. That, unfortunately, according to the most recent data, has a high self-harm rate. These people can be helped with therapy and many other remedies to get them the help that they need. They might want to avoid TikTok school teachers, but who knows? For this story, I don't have any opinions on gender dysphoria, but a young person who is going through a big change is easier to manipulate. The whole situation is very stressful. If they happen to get depressed or confused or even isolated, the last thing a doctor should suggest is the easy way out. I mean, just saying. But in Canada, it is now a legal and medical option. You just need 2 doctors to sign off, then wait 90 days. This is dangerous territory. I'm not saying it'll be good or bad. I'm not a doctor. But I'm pretty sure doctors are not supposed to take people out. Maybe I'm being old-fashioned, but that's just what I heard. Doctors have been very vocal online about how this may become prevalent in the homeless community. They may feel hopeless, and that would qualify for this procedure. 2 doctors 90 days later. It's irreversible. Now, there was a very specific case that made headlines recently. Keanu Vafayan. Hope I'm saying that right. No disrespect. Keanu Vafayan, 23 years old, just came within weeks of his departure date when it was halted because of a public outcry. Keanu has diabetes, and it's a very severe case, which left him blind in one eye. He applied for Maid and was approved by 2 independent doctors, even though this condition is completely manageable. He was just weeks away, and then his mother found out. She clearly was not consulted during this process. When she found out, she did everything she could to stop the process. Thankfully, she was successful, and he's alive today. Another case was Amir Farsood, 54 years old. He had bad, debilitating back pain and claimed it was untreatable. He was afraid he couldn't work and therefore couldn't pay rent or his bills, so he applied for Maid. He was also approved by a doctor when City News reported the story, and he received an outpouring of support from the community. He's still alive, but he went through this process because he was poor and he was afraid he couldn't work. And their solution was the Maid system. Does that sound okay to you? This is a problem that is, in all likelihood, going to get more common. We're heading into winter. Less sunshine makes people sad. Fewer outdoor activities makes people lonely. This is the worst time to introduce this kind of law. If the flu season gets bad and we go back to mandatory masks and more lockdowns, this could be too much for people that are already on the edge. This is the worst time to do this. Well, every time is the worst time, but here we are. So Canada is doing this. The law is here, and people are going to use it. If you have any feelings that you want to hurt yourself, please contact someone, anyone. There are hundreds of resources to get help anytime, day or night. So please, no one should feel like they're alone. This is not a public service announcement. I'm just one guy on the internet telling you that even if things are bad, you can make it one more hour, then another hour, then one more day, and things will get better. Just tell someone. Although I might not choose a doctor in Canada at this time, but almost anyone else will do. I think Canada could fix this problem. If they spent a little more resources trying to help people, this could be a success story. But for some reason, they want to lock up truckers and convoys. They want to arrest comedians for hurting people's feelings. They want to make misgendering a crime and pay for hotel rooms for freshly arrived immigrants. It really paints a clear picture of their priorities, huh? Hey, you guys voted for this. Did you get what you paid for? Is this how you want Canada to be remembered in history? So what do you think? Good policy, bad policy? I'm not Canadian, but I don't want people to die. Is this the modern eugenics? So leave me some comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. Then do that like and subscribe thing. It helps. And I got another video coming for you later, so I'll see you soon.